Hi, Jane.
Hi, Kayla.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm happy to see you. It's been a minute.
Ha- It has been a minute. Happy to see you too, Jane.
Happy to see you too, my dear. How have you been?
I have been amazing. Thank you for accepting my request to come back to the Thought Curator podcast.
Thank you so much.
And to my listeners, welcome to the Thought Curator podcast. This is another episode, and I have our guest. She's back for another episode with us. So, welcome, Jen, to the podcast. This is Jen Njambi, my lead instructor. Jen Njambi is digital marketing specialist. I call her a digital marketing guru. She is a web designer and graphics design freelancer. She does training on the same, and she's a wealth of knowledge. And welcome, Jen, to the podcast. And it is amazing to have you here today. Listeners, karibuni sana. We are going to be having a video on YouTube. So if you're listening, you can rush to YouTube and see our faces if you've never seen us. Welcome, Jen. Please introduce yourself again to my listeners.
So thank you so much, Kayla, for this opportunity for having me on your podcast. My name is Jane Jambi, and I'm a web designer. I'm a graphics designer, and I'm a digital marketing specialist. I hold a bachelor's of arts in community development, and I am self-taught in what earns me a living. So what earns me a living is digital marketing, web design and graphic design, and teaching people online. And I learned all that on the internet with the help of YouTube, with the help of other learning platforms like Udemy and LinkedIn. Yes.
Yes. Wow, that's amazing. You have a wealth of knowledge in digital business and digital marketing, and I would like my guests to really benefit from this information that you have, Jane. I have always said that you're not a gatekeeper of information, and that is why I am selfish enough to call you back here so that you can share this knowledge with my guests, with my listeners, and with my people here. So I had a topic today for you,
Yes.
and it's a question from one of our listeners. She was curious the first time she heard us. If you have not um listened to my listeners, if you've not listened to our previous conversation with Jen, we had a previous conversation where we tackled a lot of things, including digital business, everything that pertains digital marketing. We discussed on that first episode. So on this episode, it's just a follow-up episode on the previous things that we discussed. And one of our listeners, was really curious to know a few things that she was like, can you ask Jane to give us like a roadmap on how to identify digital business opportunities? She was also curious to ask, where do we find these digital business opportunities? And as well, lastly, she was curious to ask, how do we develop these marketing strategies so that we can be successful in this digital market? So, Jen, uh, take the floor. Tell us how you've done these things over the years.
Yeah,
Considering this is the seventh year, yes.
I wrote down the three questions. How do you identify digital business opportunities? And I always
Yes.
encourage people to have an action plan. And this is something that I give away in my free freelancing course. So I give people an action plan that helps them write down their skills. So the first way you identify digital opportunities is by first identifying the skills that you yourself possess by writing them. A lot of people don't understand the power that comes with writing something down. And we have been learning since we were born. We start learning when we are in our mother's uterus. So we learn how to suckle the teeth. We learn it through the finger when we are inside the uterus. And as we grow, we learn how to walk, how to feed ourselves, how to bathe, how to dress ourselves, how to polish our shoes. And if you go out there on the street, you will find somebody polishing other people's shoes and earning a living out of it.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You see, we learn how to fold our clothes. We learn how to organize the cabinet, the drawers. We learn how to organize books in our bag. So we learn organization, and you can convert that into a digital business by just telling people, hey, I will be polishing your shoes in your office. So I will come to your office and I'll just polish your shoes. Hey, I will organize your drawers. I will organize your office desk, and you will find people hiring you to just come and organize for them those things. You can also start a business that manufactures those brushes, that shoe polish. You can start a business that creates drawers, that creates those things for organizing the cabinets. So you look at when you are from the day you are young up to date, you write everything that you know, whether you have learned it in school or you have learned it from home or from friends. Okay, then you write what you have learned in school. You write down what you have learned in primary school, what you have learned in high school, what you have learned in college. And I'm 34 years old. And when I was a small girl in lower primary, we used to learn pottery and basketry and knitting. And even in home science, we learned knitting and tailoring. And you see, these are some of the things you write down and you realize, oh, wow, you mean I know how to knit? So I can start knitting something like the one you're wearing on your head. Somebody can start knitting
Yes.
such an amazing thing. Somebody can start beadwork and start selling necklaces and customizing them based on customers' need. So that is one of the few ways you can identify digital business opportunity, because you are the one who create that opportunity for yourself. Personally, when I started teaching online, I realized when I went to Ajira digital program and learned something like digital marketing exists and that you can market yourself on Google, I started teaching lawyers, doctors with private practice. I started talking to consultants and telling them, hey, I can teach you how to market your business on Google. And I would tell them to pay me 3,000 for 1 hour, invite them in a group like 10 on Zoom and teach them. And I saw an opportunity that way. And then as I continued, I realized, oh, instead of doing this repetitive and these people are forgetting, why not record my session? So that way I gained interest in creating a website where I will put these courses, and these people, business owners, can come and find this information whenever they want it. So sometimes, most of the times, the best way to do things is you yourself identifying an opportunity and converting it to a digital opportunity. Because I am the one who decided I want to teach them online. I would have decided to go physically, but I refused. And up to date, I refuse meeting people physically. I like doing it digitally because I want to run a digital business. It's my business, my terms and conditions. That's how I do it. So yeah, how do you identify digital opportunities? By having an action plan where you write everything down that you know. Even if there are 50 things that you know, make sure you write them down. Then after writing them down, go to a platform like Google and ask yourself, how can I digitize my skill, like cabinet organization, like face painting. There are people who can face paint others, and you learn, hey, I can paint children during their birthday. I can paint children during a festival, like when they are graduating. I can go at the gate and tell parents I can face paint their children. I can face paint. You just create an opportunity for yourself. You might realize, oh, so you go to Google and look for these opportunities. How can I make money digitally? Knitting. You can either teach others how to knit, or you can start knitting things with people's name. You customize, help them celebrate their marriage anniversary, wedding anniversary using knitting products. And that way, you digitize your product by letting them order your knitting products online. So anything can be digitized. You just need to identify the skill you have, ask Google a question, ask YouTube a question, go to freelancing platforms like Fiverr. I remember when I was tracking data, trying to understand how people were behaving on my website, I came across something called, yes? Yes. No, I can't. But I just continued because I didn't want to mess things up. Okay. Uliona venye hiyo virtuous woman inaambia watu walipe 1 million? Keila. Keila.
I am back. Yes, continue from where you left.
Oh. So, like I was
Yes.
saying, you can use Google, you can use YouTube to conduct research after you have written down some of the skills you have possessed. And we have said these are skills you have learned from home, from your parents, because like polishing your shoes, you are taught by your parents. Bathing yourselves, you're taught by your parents, and you can monetize it by becoming a caregiver. You can say, hey, I am good at maintaining a clean house, washing children, know how to plan meals for children. I can help you with that. And you can go into a home and help a family manage themselves. And then you walk out with a good money. So you help them manage themselves. It's up to you to decide how you want to monetize something. Okay, and then you make it digital by getting customers using the digital platform. You can also write down what you have been learning in school, that is in college, high school. We learned so much in agriculture, we learned so much in business studies. You could be good at bookkeeping, you could be good at record keeping. You can start by helping people with that. And you start looking for customers online. Like I said in the previous podcast, I had a neighbor's house girl who was so interested in working online, and she had interest in accounting. And I told her, you need to learn bookkeeping online and then go on Google Maps, look for a business and ask them if they need bookkeeping service. And she chose the state of New York, and in New York and the city of New York, she got a barber and spa, something to do with that. And they hired her. They hired her to be doing bookkeeping for them, $300 a month, working for 10 hours. So, is it 10 hours a week, working for 10 hours a week? And for me, it was just learning some skills online. So you might realize you're writing down, your skills are not making you happy. So you just learn a new skill, and you have to give yourself time. That girl, it took her learning and getting the work 6 months. You have to understand you have to give yourself time. So how do you identify digital opportunities and action plan? Write them down, research on Google and YouTube, and also use freelancing websites like Fiverr and Upwork. You can go on Fiverr and type in the skill that you understand. So when you write down what you understand, you will see other freelancers selling that similar opportunity that you want to leverage. So you will see how they are packaging themselves and how they are marketing themselves out there. And you will identify what they are doing and what they are not doing. And then you will put yourself together and start selling that service on platforms like LinkedIn, on platforms like Facebook. Yeah.
And
So I think I have answered question one.
yes, you have. And you realize that these skills that you're talking about are skills that are very practical. Like if it's a
Absolutely.
shoe shining business, it's just a practical skill. The only difference
Absolutely.
is that we are taking it online.
Yes. And you're
Yes,
getting paid for it.
yes, and you're getting paid for it. The same way with cabinet organization, the same way with caretaking, the same way with every other business that you've mentioned. All of these skills are very practical. Some of them are even not even very technical in terms of the knowledge that you have to acquire for you to do these jobs. The only difference
Absolutely.
is that you are taking it online, you're getting your customers online, and you're getting paid online, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. You have also mentioned that to get these jobs or to advertise yourself for these opportunities, you have mentioned Fiverr.
Yes.
You mentioned YouTube as well. Where else
Yeah.
can these people advertise themselves for this and say, I have this marketing skill, I have this digital skill that I can offer to people. I have this skill. It is not yet digital until you go digital with it. So I have this skill. I want to go digital with it. How am I going to advertise myself, or where am I going to advertise myself? Please continue, Jen.
So you can advertise yourself anywhere. You can advertise yourself using an SMS, because advertising is telling people, hey, this is what I do. You can buy my service. And you can start with a simple SMS by SMSing people in your list. You can
Yes,
start by WhatsApp. You can
yes,
start by texting everybody in your WhatsApp and telling them, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you need my service, here I
yes,
am. You can put
yes,
it in WhatsApp status and tell people, hey, my WhatsApp status, I offer these services. You can buy them from me at these rates, and you have to show them that this is a business. Then you can expand from there. You can go to your Facebook, and on Facebook, you can start talking about the services that you offer, and you start selling your skills on Facebook. And you can even go further with Facebook groups. Facebook groups are the best. That's where I get a lot of clients for my business. So I go to Facebook communities where there are women entrepreneurs, and I tell them what I do. I tell them I create websites, I tell them I guide people on digital marketing, and they listen to me and they pay me. So that's how I market myself. And LinkedIn is another powerhouse, because with LinkedIn, you can connect even with the CEO of a company. You can connect with founders, you can connect with co-founders, you can connect with business owners. You can connect with somebody that is of the person that you want. For instance, I had this lecturer who is a specialist of gender studies in the Department of Women's Studies at the University of Nairobi. And is it a department? Did you go to UON?
I went to Masai Mara University. I didn't go to UON, but yes,
Oh, yeah. UON has a department for women's studies. So I was
yes,
working with this lecturer, and she was like, she wanted to teach about gender-based violence, how to handle gender issues at place of work. And she wanted to work with human resource. She wanted to work with people in security, that is police, military, and also anybody who is just in the security sector. And we also added nurses, because nurses tend to deal with so many people who are victims of domestic violence. So at work, you go, somebody harasses you, how does human resource handle that issue? So we asked ourselves, where is the easiest place to find human resource? Definitely it's going to be LinkedIn. You get my point? So
yes,
she went on LinkedIn and started connecting with those people who are human resource professionals. And she started telling them about her online workshops, where she teaches human resource personnel how to handle gender issues at place of work. Then how to handle sexual harassment as police officers and sexual harassment as a nurse. How do you deal with these people? How do you talk to them? So and she makes good money. She makes like $10,000 because she understands, she has niched down to just 3 audiences, and she understands the message that she wants, and she has digitized her workshop, and she get customers from all over the world. And she can go all the way to Facebook groups and look for nurses groups, and she can look for human resource groups, and she can talk to those communities and tell them, this is what I do, this is how I go about it, and this is how my skills that I will be selling you can impact your career. Yeah.
And you realize this is a very practical example, Jen. I have been to LinkedIn so many times, and what you see is just people marketing themselves with the skills and the trainings they provide, the experience that they provide. You see someone's post, and down there is a call to action. So you see a very long post of someone explaining their experience, their skills, and this is a very professional. I call LinkedIn a very professional social media platform, because here you find professionals of every sphere, from everywhere. Yes, and it's a very a good platform for someone who really wants to target people who come from very different, a variety of companies, a variety of organizations, people with different skills, people with different experiences. Yes, that's a very practical example that you've given us, Jane. Thank you for that one. Please continue.
Absolutely. Yeah, and let's say you are a web designer, you're definitely going to look for business owners, you're going to look for founders, co-founders. The way you want to market yourself is determined by your niche, and your niche determines your target audience. So you just don't walk and go start marketing yourself on LinkedIn. You know, some people say, oh, the more people I reach, the more I'm likely to make more money. The more people you reach, the more likely you will be confused. But if you are like, I want to reach to more nurses because I have a package that is going to help nurse. I give this example. Assuming you are a veterinary doctor, and you're talking to 1,000 sick people who have psoriasis and diabetes, very sick, and you are talking to 60 farmers who own chicken, who own pig, who own cows, who is more valuable to you as a veterinary? The 1,000 sick people or the 60 farmers who have chicken, who have da 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 da? The 60 farmers are more valuable. They understand your language.
Yes, because they get you.
Yeah, they understand your language, they see your value, they are likely to refer you to fellow farmers. Unlike me, who has an autoimmune condition called psoriasis, I do not want to see an animal near me because it will trigger my asthma and my psoriasis. So I will not even be valuable to you. So I always tell people, go to where you are needed the most. This nonsense of wanting to reach so many people, it's just a vanity metric, you know. A vanity metric is a number that is just there, and it's not of that great value. You get my point?
Yes.
Yeah. So assuming you teach people balcony gardening, you want to deal with people who have balconies and are interested in gardening. Why would you, if you want to teach people balcony gardening, why are you looking at large scale farmers? They will not listen to you.
It will be a total waste of time, and it will be a total waste of energy, because you're looking in the wrong direction.
Absolutely. Both of them are interested in farming. One is large scale, the other one just want to do it on their balcony. So if you will be interested with that person in urban centers, they have a balcony or they want a kitchen garden, instead of going to look for people in rural areas, you're likely to look for people who are in urban centers. So you find people don't know how to like, even though you are niching down, you want people who are interested in farming, there is a specific type of a farmer you're looking for. So you have to be able to differentiate those two types of of people. Also, assuming you are a woman who teaches, or a nurse, you are a nurse who teaches new moms how to breastfeed. Do you really think that LinkedIn is going to be a viable marketing strategy? Absolutely not, because that's a place where professionals go and meet. But guess what? You have places like Quora, you have communities like Reddit, and you have places like Facebook groups where you will find groups of new moms, where you will find Reddit communities where we have new moms. Where you go on Quora, you will find new moms asking questions about being a new mom. So you will provide answer to the targeted audience. So instead, you should teach yourself, you should teach your brain to know how to differentiate where these opportunities are. Because you could be like, I want a new mom who works at Safaricom because she's likely to pay me better. So now you go to LinkedIn and you start looking at Safaricom, and now you're looking for new mom. Which metric are you using? But if you go to Facebook groups, new moms, and you start talking to new moms, they understand your language. You go to Quora, you start answering questions to new moms that they have asked. Reddit the same. You're likely to get clients using the comment sections. So yeah, that's it. And even Google, because on Google, when somebody is a new mom and they go to look for information, how do I produce more milk as a new mom? They are likely to come across your article that you have written or your ad on Google. So you have to know which strategy favors your business, your marketing, because I have said your niche determines your target audience, and your target audience determines your marketing strategy. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You are making a lot of sense, Jen. You are making a lot of sense. And I like the way you give very practical examples as to how to do these things. I would just
Yeah.
want to add a few things on how our listeners can go get these marketing opportunities, because as well, one can do inbound marketing, where you go to your mailing list and you see who is in your list. You take them to your website, you send them a list of what you do and how you do it, and you turn them into a customer. As well, networking, where you find a huge group of people, just talk to them, tell them what you do, and just market yourself the way you usually tell us that you tell people about what you do. You tell
So
them about yes, and continue. Yes.
So when it comes to networking, a lot of people do not understand the concept of networking. I'm a web designer, I'm a graphics designer, and I'm a digital marketing specialist. And my biggest network and my strongest network is the network of developers and software engineers that I have that surround me. These people, I don't think most developers know I'm a web designer. They don't know that about me. They know I know how to track data because I'm a digital marketing specialist. I do not go to present them competition. That is one thing you should never do when you're networking.
And that is a very beautiful tip. That's a good tip, Jen.
Never ever present competition. You're finished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me, if you
Become
come to me,
clients.
yeah, if you come to me and you tell me I am a web designer, I can do 1, 2, 3. Trust you, me, we are done. You're not going to come to me and compete with me. Take my customers away from me. That you're not doing. That you're not going to do. You're not going to do that to me. I will not allow you.
Please tell people how to work with others in the same area then. How do we work together?
So, number one, I work with developers, and most of them know me as somebody who only tracks data for customers' website and report it and do their marketing.
Yes.
And because a lot of software engineers and developers are likely to get good customers who pay them
Yes.
well, they're designing
Yes.
those websites, I'm likely to get a serious customer who will pay me well to track data for them. for digital marketing purposes. Okay. So like last month, I had a customer whom we were setting up their Looker Studio. Looker Studio is something that reports data for a website. And I was referred by a fellow developer. We started working back in 2021. He only knows I track data. He only knows I do digital marketing. I don't think he knows anything else about me because of how I introduced myself to him. So when he has work for tracking, guess what they do? They remember Jane. Because I go to fill in something that they can't do.
That
I
is
go to add
wonderful.
value to what they
Ye-
can't do. Yes.
Yes, you're
And
complementing what they can do. Yes.
guess what? They are bringing a customer who can be able to pay, because this customer is already paying them for web design. This customer is paying them for application development. This customer is paying them a retainer to maintain their website, their app, their everything. So this customer can spend money. And you want a customer who can spend money on you and spend good money on you. So I'm like, partner with developers, tell them what you can do, complement their skills, and that's it. And me, when I see an opportunity, I always show them things that I can't do in development. I tell them, hey, there is somebody who needs this and that. Can you do it? They go and do it, because I only specialize in 3 types of a website. I specialize in learning platforms. 80% of the websites I have done is learning platform, non-profit websites, and other small websites that might require consultancy and e-commerce. So those are the things that I do. So if somebody comes and tells me to develop them something serious, I can't do it. So I have these developers who are standby, and I go send it to them, this work to them. So when you're networking with people, complement their skills. My friend, listen to me and listen to me careful. Do not present competition. They won't even look at you twice.
And that is, I like that